at the same time.
Right, we had to share the appointments.
So we have how many now? 3?
Yeah. Wait for that.
It's just these.
Like on the. Yeah.
Hey, Dan, question for you. The liaison of that, is that's on campus. That's,
So I didn't have that.
the university doesn't have. Like, who does the lights and that kind of thing? Is that still City of Columbus?
The traffic lights.
Yeah.
Be university.
Hmm.
I think at a point we had like an agreement with them that. we-
Yeah. Okay. I want to propose that the university should, that any light in the university should have pedestrian privacy. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. It's like the pedestrian,
Little, somebody just waited.
right? Kids that live on campus.
It looks like, that's not really.
There are places where it's, you know, you get buzzer, it's immediate and that's great. But there are others where it's a bed button, it doesn't automatically go to a pedestrian crossing. And that's wrong.
We have couple lights. That's right on that.
Beg your pardon?
Well, I'm even thinking Maine, I'm not even
Across
across the river.
Oh, his rent.
This is oh, you're saying that. That's,
He had more
yeah,
heating.
it-
Her, I probably have about.
okay. Yeah, it's just interesting
Original water.
to me that there are
Mostly
points
landscape.
at which you don't.
Go close.
I think
Yeah.
there is don't automatically.
Yeah, we're on our scope for.
That's okay, like,
Yeah,
So, well, it's not that
Again,
weird, we gotta.
like, those are very well. lines, like,
Yeah. so-
Thing.
Yeah. But actually.
Beginning.
And he's probably.
I also-
Probably about.
Chairman can start.
60 copies of that.
Green Village, Italian
Oh,
Village.
John, we're ready. You want to start
Ready?
with the do that?
Anywhere where.
I'd like to call, the September 14th, 2023 Development Commission meeting to order, and we will start with a pledge of allegiance. The flag is out here on the. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, so sorry.
We're going to start with a little bit of, well, We'll look for the business and get our oath of office sworn first. Tony, if you would.
I have to read all of it to you, so bear with me. City boards and commissions pledge of ethical conduct. In consideration of my appointment to a City of Columbus board or commission, I hereby pledge that I will abide by the city's ethics laws and policies, and that I will engage in the highest standards of ethical conduct, which includes but is not limited to the following. Bylaws. Faithfully abide by the provisions, conditions, and principles set forth in the Board of Commissions bylaws. Number 2, duty of care. Exercise reasonable care, good faith, and due diligence in organizational affairs and fiscal management. Number 3, conflict interest. In the performance of board or commission duties, avoid any action or activity that creates a conflict of interest or an appearance thereof, or confers a financial gain or personal benefit to myself, a family or household member, or anyone with whom I have business or employment relationship. And number 4, influence peddling. Refrain from voting, authorizing, recommending, or in any way using my position as a board member or commission member to secure approval of a City of Columbus contract, grant, or award in which myself, a family or household member, or anyone with whom I have business or employment relationship has an interest. Number 5, supplemental compensation. Refrain from soliciting or accepting any form of third-party compensation for my service on the board or commission unless such compensation is disclosed to and approved by a disinterested vote for the board of the board or commission. Number 6, disclosure recusal. At the earliest opportunity, disclose to other members of the board or commission any information or circumstances that give rise to an actual conflict of interest, potential conflict of interest, or appearance of a conflict of interest. And upon the determination of an actual conflict of interest by the disinterested vote of the board or commission, recuse and abstain from all activity related to the conflict. Number 7, transparency and accountability. Follow and abide by all applicable public records and open meetings laws, regulations, and policies, including retaining and preserving copies of all relevant public records according to applicable record retention policies. Number 8, professionalism. Maintain a professional level of courtesy, respect, integrity, accountability, diligence, and objectivity in all board or commission activity. Number 9, equal opportunity. Ensure a culture of inclusion without discrimination on the basis of race, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, age, disability, familial status, or military status in accordance with Section 238 of the city charter. Number 10, confidentiality. Refrain from using or disclosing confidential, sensitive, or privileged information obtained as a result of my board or commission service, and exercise due diligence and caution when handling, transmitting, and storing such information to prevent inadvertent or improper disclosure. Number 11, use of the City of Columbus brand. Refrain from using or authorizing the use of one's appointment, the name City of Columbus, or the city's acronym or logo in any way that suggests endorsement or of a product or business, favoritism, bias, or impropriety. And now, do we do them individually, one at a time?
We could do it collectively.
Okay,
I
so they-
state your name, and then they can print their name in here.
Okay. Are you ready? Should they raise their right hand or?
Yeah.
Okay. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States. Should they be reading this?
Yes.
Okay, you guys read it, sorry.
Do solemnly
Support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Ohio.
and
Okay, their
and
will
with all respect
of all
and
enforcement
regulations that shall
charter,
code of the city of Columbus, and will honestly, faithfully, and impartially abide by governing laws and rules
and regulations of discharge
and duties of the
member of the Development Commission
In addition, I acknowledge and pledge to adhere to abide by the ethical conduct as outlined in the attached document by the city board of commissioners pledge of ethical conduct, which detail the city's ethical laws and policies. I understand that it is my responsibility to act with integrity and all arrangements and conditions guided by principles set forth in the document.
Wow, okay. Now, you'll,
And then at this time, you can just complete your name after the I, your signature, your printed name, member, Development Commission, and those documents will be collected from you.
we can save the second page.
No, it has to
Better.
remain together, yes.
Can we have the second page emailed to us then?
I'm sorry?
Can we have the second page emailed to us?
Yes, the second page can be separately emailed, but for purposes of the record, both of these pages have to remain together.
What is today? 14th. So it's okay for me to just take them and notarize them back there since I've.
Sure.
signed them?
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I don't.
Okay, thank you. Promise, I did not write it all back in the interviews.
We stayed together like pretty well.
You do, it did. It's very interesting.
Make sure.
Yep. That's what my computer says. Um. That was a nice thing. I know. Oh, I can. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Thank you. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Next time.
Now.
Ethical people up here.
That's what we know. Let's take one.
Just, if there is anyone here for case number 1, 5, or 6, they're all requested tabling. And I need a motion to vote on tabling. So I can just get with that. Right. All in favor? Aye. The case is tabled. We will start with case number 2, Z21-052, 3150 Allegheny Avenue.
The 3.79 acre site consists of one undeveloped parcel in the M manufacturing district. The applicant is requesting the AR1 apartment residential district to permit a multi-unit residential development. The site is subject to ordinance 1789-2021, passed July 12, 2021, which was filed to assist in Ohio Housing Finance Agency funding process and allowed an 84-unit apartment complex. This rezoning request was filed as a condition of that approved ordinance. North of this site is a city-owned property in the M manufacturing district. South of the site is a school in the AR3 apartment residential district. East of the site is a commercial warehouse in the M manufacturing district. West of the site is a retail building in the M manufacturing district and multi-unit residential development in the AR1 apartment residential district. The site is within the planning boundaries of the Port Columbus Joint Economic Development Strategy, which recommends office light industrial uses at this location. The site is located within the boundaries of the Medias Area Commission, whose recommendation is for approval. Concurrent council variance CB 23-071 has been filed, which commits to a site plan for an apartment complex containing 84 units. Variances to increase building height and reduce required curb yard are included. That request will be heard by city council when that be considered at this development commission. The proposed AR1 apartment residential district will permit multi-unit residential development uses on the site. The site is within the planning boundaries of the Port of Columbus Joint Economic Development Strategy, which recommends office and light industrial land uses at this location. Due to recent construction of a school and an existing multi-unit residential development adjacent to the site, staff finds the proposed AR1 district appropriate for this location. This request will update the zoning map to reflect the already allowed multi-unit residential development use that was approved with ordinance 1789-2021 and is consistent with the city's objective to increase affordable housing. City Department's recommendation will be for full approval with the addition of a commitment by the applicant to establish a crosswalk across Allegheny Avenue, including a payment to the city for associated striping. So we are in a conditional approval right now.
Any questions? Parks and Recreation,
We have no additional comments.
Daniel, traffic.
I believe the applicant has agreed to our requested condition. We had asked for a crosswalk to provide connectivity between the site and the school to the south, bus stop to the south, sidewalk. There's not a continuing north side of Allegheny. The sidewalk to the south actually provides connectivity to the east and west, and then from there down to East Broad Street. And in fact, the applicant has already paid the fee that would be associated with the commitment.
That's
Good. Chris, planning,
No further comments.
David,
Great, thank you. Good evening, all. Dave Perry here as agent for Woda Cooper Company. This is an affordable housing project of Woda Cooper. And as Tim indicated, there was a variance for the project in 2021 that has since been funded. That project has since been funded by OFA. So this is our required follow-up rezoning to establish the proper multifamily zoning district. And those conditions are fine, even though we've already done them.
okay, and am I to assume that since you made the payment that you are committed to this crosswalk?
We are, yes, and there's a second variance application that goes with this rezoning to reflect similar things that were varied previously, but the walk is shown on that site plan also as a requirement.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone here to speak on this case? That being said, does any of the commissioners have a question for the applicant? Could I get a motion to vote?
Motion to vote.
Second. Please call the vote.
Denise Keith Shanklin,
Yes.
Maria Conroy,
yes.
Amanda Golden,
Yes.
Kaya Lungway,
Yes.
Chair Ingwerson.
Yes, you are approved.
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Case number 3, Z23 017 6261 Maple Canyon Avenue.
The site consists of two parcels under the R1 residential district, one developed with a single unit dwelling and the other being undeveloped. The request of AR12 apartment residential district will allow a multi-unit residential development at this location. The north of the site is a multi-unit development in the ARLD apartment residential district. To the south is a religious facility in the R1 residential district. To the east are single unit dwellings in the R2 residential district. To the west is a school in the SR suburban residential district. Sites within the planning area, the Northland 1 area plan, which recommends medium to high density mixed residential land uses at this location. Sites within the boundaries of the Northland Community Council, whose recommendation is for approval. The request of AR12 apartment residential district will permit a multi-unit residential development at this location. Staff supports the request as it is consistent with the Northland 1 area plan's recommendation for medium to high density mixed residential land uses and with the overall residential development pattern in the surrounding area. Therefore, staff recommendation is for approval.
Questions? Art,
No additional comments.
Jane, Trap,
We have been asking that the applicant commit to dedicating 30 feet of right of way from the center line of Maple Canyon Avenue. That's not a code required since Maple Canyon Avenue is not on the multi-unit thoroughfare plan, but we are asking this be consistent with what was done with the property to the north and what's present already for most of the properties along Maple Canyon between Jewett and 161. But we do not condition our support on this request.
Okay. Chris,
No further comments. Thank you.
would the applicant come up and present, please?
The applicant, but my architect is on his way. He's the one that's going to do all the speech.
So,
The applicant, I'm the applicant. The architect is on his way.
that's,
Yeah, I think that's fine.
if you feel comfortable presenting this, that's fine. I mean, you have approval from,
Put that.
Right.
Listen for that.
okay.
Dan, question, the 30 feet required, you are requesting. Did they accept it?
We have not received a response to that request.
So what happened if they say no?
And they don't do it.
If you would feel more comfortable waiting,
Yes, I think I will.
that's fine. Can we just we postpone this now that we've started
We
it?
can, but we have one more case that has approvals across the board, so.
I know.
I don't know how long you're.
Yeah, it's not gonna be how.
But we can continue on with the next case if you'd like to.
He's on his way, he said to be here about 10 minutes.
Well, we'll be done.
But
So why don't you go ahead and present your case? Is there anyone here to speak? Go ahead and present. Dave Paul has been in front of us many times. And if you want to let him go first,
let's.
that would be okay.
Thank you. My comments will be very brief because we are fully supporting the application. We met with the applicant, first of all, Dave Paul with the Norfolk Community Council. We met with the applicant and the engineer who's also helping them architect this project on August 30th. This is a site which has been vacant for some time and known in the community as the Pizza Factory because that's what was located there for a very long time. Cinder block structure where folks would basically prepare kits to make pizzas and sell them basically for fundraisers, that sort of thing. So the community is pleased to see this site proposed to be used for housing. We are, I think, supportive of the design that's been proposed, even though that's not strictly a zoning issue. And so the community voted unanimously, 13-0, to recommend approval of this application on August 30th.
Great.
We appreciate your support as well.
Thank you. Come back up. I don't want to be too cheeky as an architect, but you've hauled the mail, you've got the job done. Don't let them bill you for today. I'd like a motion to vote.
Motion to vote?
Second? We can call the vote.
Maria Conroy,
Yes.
Amanda Golden,
Yes.
Karen Oakway,
Yes.
Janice Keith Schenkel,
Yes.
Chair Ingers.
Yes, you are approved.
Thank you.
Case number 4 is C23-014, 2400 Old Dublin Road.
Before I begin, please see your supplemental packet for a revised description of the concurrent CB 23-020. The 12.33 acre site is undeveloped in the AR3 Department Residential District and LAR Limited Department Residential District. A portion of the site is subject, a portion of the site. There's a typo here. Okay. The 12.33 acre site is undeveloped in the AR3 apartment residential district and LAR12 limited apartment residential district per ordinance 1942-2022, which permits up to 500 dwelling units and associated commercial. The requested AR2 apartment residential district will permit a multi-unit residential development. North and east of the site is the Quarry Trails Metro Park in the M Manufacturing District. South of the site is an extended stay hotel in the M Manufacturing District. West of the site is a multi-unit residential development in the ARLD apartment residential district. The site is within the planning boundaries of the Trader Roberts area plan, which recommends medium high density mixed residential and quarry reuse land uses at this location. The site is located within the boundaries of the West Side Area Commission, whose recommendation is for approval. Concurrent council variance CV 23-020 in file, which commits to a site plan for an apartment complex containing 486 units. Variances to fronting, reduced perimeter yard, and reduction in the minimum number of parking spaces is requested. That request will be heard by city council will not be considered at this development commission meeting. The proposed AR2 apartment residential district will permit multi-unit residential development uses on the site. The proposal is consistent with medium high density mixed residential land use recommendation of the Trader Roberts area plan and does not represent an increase in intensity from what has already been approved at the site of ordinance 1942-2022. The proposal is adjacent to existing multi-unit residential and parkland uses and does not represent an introduction of an incompatible use to the area, and therefore city department's recommendation is for approval.
Thank you. Any questions for Jim? Mark?
All of our comments have been incorporated.
Daniel?
The site traffic associated with this development was already accounted for in previously approved traffic impact study for the earlier phases of Quarry Trails development. The resulting traffic commitments from that study were documented in the ordinances associated with those early phases. And they'll be carried forward into the ordinances associated with this application and the concurrent council variance. Examples of those commitments would be traffic signal installation at the intersection of Dublin Road and Old Dublin Road, contributions toward potential future improvements at other Columbus intersections, contribution toward regional improvements identified in the forthcoming Ringer Road, Traby Road, Kennedy Avenue corridor mobility study, and other commitments to the city of Upper Arlington and the Franklin County Engineer's Office.
Thank you. Chris, planning?
No further comments.
David?
Sure, let's, Austin, would you introduce yourself so the
Let's go.
commission knows you?
Yes, Austin Lindsay from Thrive Companies.
I'm working with Austin on this additional phase of the quarry development. In 22, this commission heard and then city council subsequently passed the 70-acre quarry rezoning, and that is well along under construction now. What this zoning represents is that Thrive was able to obtain an additional 5 acres adjacent to the site, and by no change in density, what TIMBY means is that our sub-area E, the units already permitted in sub-area E of the quarry rezoning are just being spread out to include E and the additional acreage. So there's no change in density, and we've discussed multiple times with Daniel regarding the traffic commitments.
Any questions for the applicant? Since all is approved, I hear a motion to vote.
Motion to vote.
Second? Second. Please call the roll.
Amanda Golden,
Yes.
Hannah Clay,
Yes.
Janice Keith Shanklin,
Yes.
Maria Conroy,
Yes.
Cherokee Newsom.
Yes, you're approved.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
That's it. Motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.
This?
Not.
Painless.
This, I'm sorry. You, but this is fun.